Hey Joe, what's going on, big guy? It's Doug. Hey, just wanted to do two things on this video. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. First of all, I hope you're doing well, and I'm so glad that the trade manager is finally out. Yay! But I am having a little bit of difficulty with it, so rather than, like I said, try to explain, through Messenger, thought it might be easier just to show you. Maybe you can forward this over to tech guys so they have an idea of what I'm seeing and maybe work out some of these bugs. Okay, so let me just switch over to my chart. Okay, so here we go. So I've got this is the trainer, by the way. It just as I chose a random pair. Um, got the BSI up and running, and I already fudged with this, and I know this trade here is going to win, just so I can demo it and let you know or show you what the heck I'm seeing. So anywho, what I would normally do, I guess, I got this candle here. Okay, let's say I'm gonna take a sell. What I would do is figure out my stop loss, and the way I do that, I use the ATR. I think that's pretty cool tool or indicator. And what I generally do is I take 1.5 times the ATR for my stop loss and 3 times the ATR for my take profit, which gives me a 1 to 2 risk reward. All right, so if I do the calculations, that's about 18. So I would normally come over here to the lot size calculator. I put in my 18, get lots, it comes up to 6, 0.12 lot. And normally that would go here, obviously, before the trade manager. And then my stop loss, I would just throw it in, yada, 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 would be 18. 3 times that would be 35. So that's how I would normally do it. I would sometimes, go in and set my trailing stops, so on and so forth, but that's not important right now. But for the trade manager, so I would just, as far as I know, I guess I would put in 6.12, and then I'm going to go hit a sell. So I know in the settings for this thing, you guys have this default stop, distance and pips set at 30. And I'm sure you can adjust that to whatever, but I'm a little confused on that because personally, I think that's kind of irrelevant. No hard feelings, because every trade is different. So to have a default setting right there really makes no difference. I don't think it's necessary. Be honest with you, but it is what it is. So anyhow, I do like this though. Add to break even. That's great. So at least you can cover your spread. That's cool. But anyhow, moving on. So I've got that going, and then if we manipulate this, obviously I'm just going to leave it where it's at. I would want to set a break even, and I guess what do you do? What is it? 3 clicks. There. Okay. So what I would want to do, this is going to be my actual take profit here, I guess, and I'm just going to manipulate this a little bit. So come on, kind of hard to do. All right. So let's just say there's my halfway point, and then my TP2. Let's just say I want it to go, whatever, say about right here. Okay, and then I would go into the settings here, and I guess it's this one. Yeah. TP1, I would want to move it to break even. TP2, I want to get out of the trade. Okay, and I'm guessing I'm not too worried about stop loss right now, but I guess you have to hit save so it works. I'm not sure. Then we'll close out of this, and now I'll show you what's happening. So right now you can see I just started with $100,000, you know, uh, simulator account here, whatever. And let's just see. All right, so right now, boom, my take profit, my original stop loss, I'm assuming moved to break even, but it's no longer there. I don't see it. It disappeared. And then if we keep moving forward here, Boom. Okay, so now my take profit was hit, right? And it's gone. But watch what happens down here. You see, it just keeps going and it never gets me out of the trade. I can just do this forever. So that's the bug I'm seeing. I don't see my stop loss moving to break even, nor do I see the trade actually closing, which is kind of weird. So that's that, and I'm hoping these guys can figure it out and make that go away. So the second part I wanted to talk to you about is just a suggestion. And again, I'll just start by saying I know I'm just one person with one opinion, but I think this might be very useful and helpful to the entire community. Like I said in the beginning, I like to base everything off the ATR. I usually don't have the ATR on my chart. So I use a handy dandy tool. It's called the NNFX ATR. Big name, but basically what it does two things actually, but it takes the ATR, does all the mathematical equations based on the settings that you have in its in the settings of the tool, and then spits it out on your chart right here. Okay, this is a representation of your stop loss and your take profit. Now, if you watch as I move around, you can see that number changes based on wherever the candle you're on, but it's basing it on the ATR. And I know you're savvy enough to know what the ATR is, so I don't have to explain any of that. But essentially, the other thing it does is if I hover over the current candle and click once, you'll see. Let me bring this down here. You'll see it automatically puts in your stop loss and your take profit automatically. So just one click is on a buy. If I click again, now we're in a sell. So if I was taking a sell here, automatically 1.5 times the ATR, I know this is where my stop loss would be. This is where my take profit would be. And that's 3 times the ATR, obviously for a 1 to 2 risk reward. So that's how I set up my trades. Now, be honest with you, here we are at the time of this video here, we're in the middle of summer. In my opinion, market volume accumulation right now is relatively low. So I've been finding in all my back testing, it's hard to get in these long trends, because they just don't last very long before they peter out. They go stagnant or they reverse. So currently, if I was trading live and in all my demo testing that I've been doing, I'm just doing a straight 1-to-1. If I can just get 1%, yay! I'm pretty happy. Not that you can't still get a 1-to-2 or even a 1-to-3. Personally, I don't see it happening as often. But that's another topic of discussion. Anyhow, so what I would like to see, here's the suggestion: instead of having a preset like this, I would say get rid of that, and instead make it based on pips. Doesn't necessarily have to be based on the ATR if other folks aren't using the ATR, but make it set to pips. And ideally, if you guys could just take this section, right, and put it here, right in here, oh, would that be amazing? So that would be my suggestion. And you can even make it like some folks want to use price. Well, then, you can do that. Just if this could be incorporated right here. So when you get your stop loss set and you got you take your get lot, right? And you can put that right in here. I wouldn't even worry about this, just like you did here. And then right below it, put your stop loss in pips, your take profit in pips. And then you can go into, the settings. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is the biggest awesomeness I've ever seen. And I truly believe that is really going to help everybody. I just can't wait to see that happen, because I mean, the dynamic risk part of it, and how you can scale in, scale out, how you can, do all kinds of different manipulations of that trade, is genius. So kudos to you guys on that. I just think setting it up initially, it would be so much better if this part of it right here was thrown right here of some form or fashion, so that you can automatically, instead of having it, preset, all you got to do is just put in your pips here for your stop loss. In fact, you don't even need to put in your take profit, for that matter. Just put those two functions right here. Click on buy or sell, then going into your trade settings, and like if you want to do that, and then just make a button here to add, or whatever you want to do. And then the special actions, leave them as is, right? Um, I think that would be much, much more beneficial and user friendly, because to sit there, like I said, and if you got into it like this and then had to, well, come on, gee, where is I, and eyeball it, well, you can do that, but I think it's too arbitrary, and could cause folks to, the difference between winning a trade and losing a trade. Um, Again, that's just my opinion. So anyhow, I hope that makes sense, Joe. And I'd love to hear your feedback on it, and just kind of let me know what you think. But I really hope that makes a whole lot of sense, and you guys could take a look at that, and come and hopefully maybe make those changes. But certainly, there's definitely something wrong with, you know, uh, the trade manager as it is, because it should be getting you out of trades when either you win or lose. Otherwise, what I can see, it just keeps going on and on and on. As you can see, it just keeps moving. So anyhow, that's what I got. I hope that makes sense, and I'd like to know what your thoughts. All right, buddy. Hey, have a great weekend, and talk to you again soon. Take care.